Good morning, YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. If you guys are just popping in because you just happened to stumble across my channel from the BMW videos that I'm, just starting to make, then welcome. This is my Nuggety E36 drift project. Never drifted before, just done some skids here and there. Yeah, whatever. Everybody's got to learn at some point, right? So if you didn't watch the first video, go watch that video, catch up to where we are. I've made some progress a little bit. I've only been here for about 45 minutes this morning so far. It's still kind of early. Let me show you what I've done so far. So to recap, we ended off the day yesterday with getting the front end started to be put back in, subframe, oil pan, all that jazz. The lollipop bushings, we had one that was backwards, I just corrected that. And then the ball joints, the outer ball joints on these stock lower control arms, I just got those pressed in. We ended up freezing them. This one has me questioning because this one's a little loose now. So I can actually move this one around, and I'm not really liking that too much. So honestly, I'm probably gonna end up just replacing this whole arm and just have to eat the cost of the ball joint there. I don't fully trust that. But anyway, that one went in perfectly fine, so I don't fully understand because I use those Lemforder OE style ones that have like that weird cap to it, and yeah, I wouldn't recommend. Honestly, if you can, I'm all for, reuse, recycle, repeat type stuff. But for whatever reason, these ball joints on these outer arms, just garbage to try and service. So if you can afford it, get just new arms. But that's where we are with that. So now I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to clean these arms up really quick, just a little bit, because I just don't like touching them. They're all dirty, and I'm trying to clean up as I'm going through here. So once these arms are put back on, I have brand new tie rods, inners, and bellows to go on. I did have to order a new suction line for the power steering. I just had that overnighted from FCP, so that should be here tomorrow. Yeah, and then clean up the sway bar right here, and then I can pretty much put the front end back together with our fresh new reaction coilovers. I don't even know what spring rates are on here, so 210, I don't know. 8, yeah, I don't know. We'll have to tinker around with that and figure it out. But because they sent me 2 different spring rates. But anyway, back to the car. I'm gonna go ahead and make a little bit more progress. And Alex is coming by later today again to help me start on getting the rear end taken out. Alright, so I pretty much got the front end put back together for the most part. So a few of the things I got to tighten when the car has pressure on it, like the sway bar end lengths, where the bushings are. But other than that, we're looking pretty good. So the next step, all that's left is wheel hubs for putting the tie rod end lengths to it, and then the coilovers, but the coilovers bolt to the hub. So now I got to pull the rotors off, which means I got to try and undo those set screws. So like I said, mine are rusted up here, completely stripped out. So I got the welder, so I'm gonna just try and weld these things out. I've had pretty good luck with it in the past. The rear ones came out no problem, but these front ones definitely have not been changed in a hot minute. So I'm doing all the brakes anyway. I got braided steel lines, pads, and rotors, just a Zimmerman kit, and then garage just stainless lines. So we're doing that stuff anyway, so this needs to get done. So let's try and weld these nuts out really quick, pull these apart, then we can finish up these last few pieces. Let's install the coilovers next. This one is labeled front left. So this is going to be the driver's side one, and you can tell also that it's a little confusing, but the brackets here for the brake lines and the sensors and stuff. So this is driver's side, front left, the other side. Mine doesn't have a sticker, but you can, you know, put it together. I just remembered before I put the coilovers in, I do have these shock tower reinforcement plates. Now mine don't appear to be cracked, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to weld these in anyway. These go on the underside up here, so all I'm going to do is just get up there with a wire wheel really quick, throw some you know, safety glasses on, and then just give these some stitches all the way around. This just reinforce where the shock actually mounts to prevent tearing in the future. So let's knock this out quick and then put the coils on. Driver's side's all done. I'm going to knock out the passenger. We'll be good. Both sets of shock tower plates are welded in the front. So next up, we gotta I'm going to try and start dropping the rear subframe. To do that, there's two things you got to do. Unbolt the shock. Well, I guess you can leave the shocks in, but I'm going to unbolt the shocks from inside here. That way I can just pull them out separately since I'm putting the coils on. And then we're going to go and undo the e-brake cable from the shifter. Otherwise, it's just, from what I understand, a nightmare. So, you know, just to get access to the shock towers, pull the covers out of the way. And then the e-brake cables. Just the adjustment rods up here. Mine is already extremely stretched or non-adjusted, whatever the case is. So let's knock that out really quick. The rear stuff was not nearly as easy to do, so I went through a trigonometry puzzle to figure this thing out because there's no info on my chassis, apparently 328 Coupe Premium. So I've got these weird speaker boxes with the tweeters up here that sit in the corner, which is this giant guy, because the shock is right beneath it and you can't just pull the things out. So you got to take those covers out, which are for your tail lights. Then you got to pull this apart, and then there's a couple screws you got to pull the speaker covers off up here on the rear deck lid, and then you can finally, you know, wiggle this guy out. And now we should be able to move this out of the way and access these stinking shocks right there. Pain in the butt. Can't hold you guys and do it, so I'm gonna just go ahead and do it. Quick update. So rear subframe is just about ready to come out. Mike showed up. Alex could not today. He got caught up doing work or car deal or something, so he's gonna be here tomorrow. But meantime, we got everything but the brake lines and the drive shaft disconnected, and then I gotta help fish the e-brake cables through on the inside because they're kind of cut up or something. But other than that, exhaust is off, heat shield's off, and shocks are off. Not that they needed to be, but I just did them anyway. And yeah, I think we're just about ready to drop this thing. We're just going to drop it onto some jack stands, and it should be all right. And then from there, same situation as the last video with the front stuff. We just rip it all apart outside the car, and then I clean the piss out of it, and I replace everything. Well, I guess all the bushings at least. So yeah, anyway, toodaloo, back to it. Well, it's out.
The spaceship is out.
This thing is so much spider webs. I can't wait to clean this. Yeah, that's definitely getting a pressure washer. Yeah, I mean, this is basically the whole rear end here. So thankfully there's only a couple of connectors. There's this box here that has like the ABS thing. This bushing is destroyed. I don't think that's one that I have.
Oh my god. That's actually a ball joint.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Shoot, yeah, I need to get one of those.
It might
then.
just be the boot, honestly.
Whatever it is, it looks super outdated. Is that really just a ball joint?
Yeah.
So, oh, so it just has a bolt that goes through it, but...
Yeah.
Oh, so you still have to press it out though.
Yeah, because it's, yeah.
Oh,
If there's no play in it, I wouldn't worry too much about that one.
That's really shitty. But yeah, so rear springs. I think I have to reuse those rubber caps on them, but other than that, yeah. So part of what I have to do next is I still got to drop this gas tank because this is like the pocket area that gets reinforced for the trailing arm bushings, and obviously the gas tank being right there is a bit of a hazard. I got to go get some flare wrenches because this one was wanting to round. Well, neither of them wanted to come off. And then wherever the up here. So these areas are where the subframe mounts to. They're you know, they're prone to cracking. Thankfully, mine are okay. But I'm still gonna do the whole welding kit because that's what we're here for anyway. And then obviously
This is what rips out in the E36s.
Oh, really?
This whole trunk area just tears right out.
Yeah.
Oh, for E36 guys, pro tip: if you ever have a gas smell in your car, it's most likely this fill hose right here. It cracks where it meets the tank, and you got to replace this soft line. So,
Oh.
Yep. Yours looks okay. I think,
Yeah.
but.
So far. But yeah, so yeah, I mean, this is pretty much where it's gonna sit for the moment. I'm gonna have to disassemble this on here more than likely, and then take each piece apart individually, and then clean it and prepare it. So these are the bushings that we're swapping out. These, and then got the guy here, got this guy here, and I think there's one on the front that's up there, and I think, oh, and then the trailing arm bushings, which are there and there. So that's pretty much it. It literally feels like I'm holding moss. All right, so I went home last night after we got the diff out, or I'm sorry, the rear subframe out. It's, man, that is some heavy stuff, let me tell you. But look at how clean I got the differential, because I got bored last night. It was raining, I couldn't sit still, so I just sat out on the porch in the rain and scrubbed the diff. Look at it. Looks like a brand spanking new diff. So part of what we're doing is changing these bushings out, and then I gotta obviously drain the fluid out of this and then weld the diff inside. So I may jump on that really quick because Alex is gonna be on his way here shortly. So again, back with the rear end stuff, this is kind of the issue that I've ran into. Not so much an issue, but it's like, I kind of wish I would have known. So these are actually ball joints. These are like spherical joints. There's one on each side, and then there's a bushing up there. So the bushing on that one, I believe, is a part of the control arm. So I'll do that later. It's not a huge deal. You can get this arm out in the car. It's just a little tedious, just because the axle is kind of blocking the bolt hole that's right here. But not the worst thing in the world. The axle nuts come out pretty darn easy. So anyway, I'm gonna have to run these like this for now. I'm gonna order some on FCP Euro. You can change this with the subframe in the car. It's just a little on the tedious side. But in the meantime, like I said, all the bushings, hopefully Alex can help me knock that out. Next up, I want to try and get this gas tank off. I'm going to lower the car down a little bit, go inside the car, and then undo the 3 fuel lines, I think, and then the 3 or 4 electrical connectors. And that should free us up there, and then I can just come down here. I can lower the car. I'm going to have to use the jack stands to support the tank because I don't have anything else right now. And then support the tank, undo the straps, lift it up a little bit, and there's some hoses you got to grab on the top that I've seen on some videos. We'll do that. So I'm just going to kind of keep cracking along. I mean, if time wasn't kind of a necessity right now, or of a crunch, I'd film a little bit more of the work side of things. But I also had to go get a flare wrench set because I didn't have one. Those rear brake lines giving us trouble. I had to get a siphon thing because even if these tanks don't have drains on them, so you got to siphon it. Oh, and then I also got a fuel filter, like a random little guy, because we're going to have to jump the fuel pump to get the majority of the tank out. But because my fuel jet is damaged, I can't get the last quarter tank out, so that's where the siphon comes in. So I can siphon the last little bit out, and the fuel filter set where you can filter the fuel that's coming out so I can put it back in when I'm done, because part of the reason I'm dropping it is I got to clean it out. I'm just going to use probably some water and degreaser, switch it around, get all that disintegrated hose out, and then yeah, we got to get some chassis prep done. So depending on where we are in this video, I will check really quick, and I don't know, may just get the gas tank down and everything, and then for the chassis prep, I may throw that into another video because that's gonna kind of be a thing of its own, but we'll see. in case you've never seen what the inside of a diff looks like. Maybe, you know, you're naive, you're younger, you're inexperienced, whatever, or you've just never seen it. This is what we're looking like. So the point is to attach, let me see if I can zoom in enough, get the light on there. So the point is we're attaching all of these gears together. You attach these gears in some manner or the next, and then you flip it over, you spin this 180, and then there's the same thing on the back side. You weld it all up, and then you are solid to go. Now the best way to clean this is just an absolute butt ton of brake cleaner. So I probably need to go get another can or something. I got 3 cans here, but the best way when you're done is drench it with like a chlorinated brake cleaner and then hit it with a torch and let it burn out for a minute.
Do these actually not touch? Like when it was 115, that was hot. Oh yeah, it's easy right now. It all feels relatively nice. Yeah, it's not bad. For summer, yeah, it's not bad.
Okay, after doing some talking around with a few of my welding buddies that have done quite a bit more diffs than I have, they suggested instead of a full plate, do a normal plate, but then drill like a 1/2 inch hole in it to let the fluid through. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a little template to match this thing, and then we'll just send it. Welding plates are ready to go. So this one, you know, I definitely made it fancier than it needs to be. I can get away with just this. So, you know, like they say, you know, just kind of tuck that in there. Looking pretty crispy, and again, the holes are to allow fluid. So we're good there, good there. Now I'm going to torch the diff and weld it. Alright, so the gas tank is out. A little on the tedious side just because this thing's never been dropped before, so all these hoses were super, you know, stuck on there. But overall, not a terrible plan or terrible thing to do. So yeah, gonna siphon it. I bought the little siphoner at Harbor Freight, so we're gonna drain it into the tank. And I'm probably gonna have to put some in one of my buckets over there because that's only a 5 gallon. I don't know how much is in here. Roughly half a tank, but you know, who knows. Yeah, so we're gonna do that, and then I don't know, dude. We were both just so covered.
It's a little dirty.
Yeah, just a little dusty on here. So yeah, let's siphon this thing out.
Get out.
It is working.
Perfect. Hell yeah.
Got the gas tank siphoned, and we didn't have enough space to hold it, so ended up just pouring like 5 gallons worth of gas into the cars outside. This would be so much easier to get done video-wise if I had somebody to help film. Someday. Alright guys, this video has gone on for quite a while. We're still got some more work left to do, so maybe 1 or 2 more videos after this. At least 1 for sure, but yeah, I don't want to drag this one out too long, so to catch you guys up, bushings are out of the subframe, and doing the top side stuff right now, the welding. So I'm just going to end this video off here. I'm going to pick up the next clip right where I'm leaving off right here. So if you guys want to see the progress continue, be sure to look at the next video after this one. But if you guys did enjoy this video, be sure to let me know in the comments down below. If you're new to the channel, hopefully by now you consider subscribing. Go check out the new website, velocityracehab.com. Scoop up a shirt, that'll help me, and get yourself something cool. You guys do so. If you with the rest, thanks for spending some time out of your day here with me. We'll see you in the next one.